What's up, guys? So recently there's been a video circulating the internet about Megan Fox confirming that her and Machine Gun Kelly drink each other's blood.
Cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul.
So I was like, I gotta see this. Because whenever I hear something like this, I always think maybe they're like trolling us. Like maybe they're just pretending and they're just saying this stuff so that way we click on the video. I'm very skeptical about these things. But then when I watched the whole entire interview and then I researched both of them a little bit more, I came to the conclusion that they have actually ended up in this realm of drinking each other's blood because somewhere along the line, they have become addicted to spiritual heroin. And if you don't know what spiritual heroin is, I have a whole entire video on it, but we'll briefly discuss it today. So I'm gonna play a couple of clips, and one of them is gonna be about the blood drinking. And even though the blood drinking is in there, that's actually not what I want to focus on the most. What I want to focus on is some things that she said that if you're not spiritually aware, you would have absolutely no idea that one thing is connected to the other. So let's play this clip and break it down.
Who's playing that character? Oh, Machine Gun Kelly. And I kind of knew the name, but didn't. So I'm like, Machine Gun Kelly. I look it up and I was like, oh, we're gonna be in so much trouble because he's literally like my exact physical type that I've been manifesting since I was 4. I'm also 4 years older than him, so I think I made him, my thoughts and intentions grew him into the person that he is. Who knows what he would have looked like or been like if it wasn't for me. I guess to drink each other's blood, it's just a few drops. But yes, we do consume each other's blood on occasion for ritual purposes only. And it is controlled where it's like, let's shed a few drops of blood and each drink it. He's much more haphazard and hectic and chaotic where he's willing to just cut his chest open with broken glass and be like, take my soul. Let me bleed on you.
So before we get into the whole cutting the chest and drink my soul part, I want to break down something that she said in the beginning. So Megan stated that she believes that she literally manifested Machine Gun Kelly into being who he is today because she's 4 years older than him and she's been thinking about a man that looks like him since she was 4, which we could probably make a whole other video on, but let's stay focused. What I also find interesting about this situation is that not only does she believe that she manifested him, but she was also married to this dude and had 3 kids with him by the time she met Machine Gun Kelly. And I just think that that is a huge reflection on the morality of Hollywood. She viewed Machine Gun Kelly as somebody who was worth breaking up her marriage over. Now, I don't know how their marriage was going. I don't know if the husband was cheating or anything like that, but if the marriage was good, that means that she looked at Machine Gun Kelly as a good enough candidate to break up her family. Hollywood, the logic that Hollywood uses, it blows my mind sometimes. But this type of action and decision making is all too common in people who are addicted to spiritual heroin. Now, anyway, if you haven't been living under a rock for the past decade, I'm sure that you've noticed the popularity of the word manifesting is growing. You can't look left, can't look right without somebody talking about how they're manifesting something into reality. Now, this whole manifestation thing actually stems from something called the law of attraction. Now, if you'd like to learn more about what the law of attraction is or what it claims to be, I have a whole entire video on it. I'm also releasing a book about this entitled The Secret, a Gateway Drug to Spiritual Heroin. But for the moment, I'm just gonna give you a quick breakdown of what the law of attraction is. It basically states that whatever your predominant thoughts are is what's being attracted into your life. The universe is responding to the thoughts in your mind and you are attracting whatever it is you're thinking into your life. So she has been thinking about somebody who looks like Machine Gun Kelly since she was 4, and now here she is after being married with 3 kids. He suddenly is manifest into her life, and she literally believes that Machine Gun Kelly is her creation from her thoughts. Now, the term law of attraction was coined by a woman named Helena Blavatsky, and Helena Blavatsky is widely considered the mother of New Age spirituality. Helena Blavatsky has also been associated with Luciferianism and Satanism. She actually used to publish a magazine titled Lucifer, and she also had a real hatred towards Christians and Jews. Now, I know you're probably like, all right, John, but what does Helena Blavatsky have to do with Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox drinking each other's blood? What does that have to do with it? Don't worry, I'm gonna get to that. Now, it's my belief that things like the law of attraction are a gateway drug to what I call spiritual heroin. And spiritual heroin is essentially just chasing a feeling in spirituality. all you're doing is chasing a feeling, chasing a feeling, chasing a feeling. And to me, New Age spirituality is spiritual heroin, because the whole entire movement is based on feelings and getting spiritually high. Now, as I did some more research into Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox, I found that they did ayahuasca ceremonies. So ayahuasca is a plant that's mixed with a root, and when you ingest it, you have a crazy spiritual experience. Some people would say it's hallucinating, but us who believe in the spiritual realm, we believe that the veil gets lifted back a bit, and you now get to experience some parts of the spiritual realm, and you get to contact spiritual beings. I also made a video about this with Will Smith, because he did 14 of these ceremonies. Will Smith is another person that I believe is addicted to spiritual heroin. So New Age spirituality is essentially what the Bible calls lawlessness, meaning spiritual anarchy. Anything goes. There's no moral rules to this form of spirituality. You do whatever you want to do, as long as it's true for you. Everything is relative and everything is permissible. Now, I will say that the vast majority of people who are into the New Age spirituality, they're not running around drinking people's blood. But if we trace the New Age spirituality back to its roots, we find that it's connected to Satanism, the occult, and Luciferianism. So let me introduce you to a guy named Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley was at one time labeled the wickedest man in the world by the British press. And this is after somebody allegedly passed away from participating in a blood ritual that Aleister Crowley was doing. This man published book after book after book after book of satanic rituals, everything from sexual to blood sacrifices, all the way to human sacrifice. A quote from his book entitled Magic says, "For the highest spiritual working, one must accordingly choose that victim which contains the greatest and purest force. A male child of perfect innocence and high intelligence is the most satisfactory and suitable victim." End quote. So what does Aleister Crowley have to do with the New Age? Well, here's a quote from Robert Anton Wilson about Aleister Crowley. He says, quote, "What Einstein did for physics and Joyce for the novel, and Picasso for painting, and Pound for poetry, and Wright for architecture, Crowley did for the mystic tradition." End quote. Aleister Crowley and his teachings have been a huge influence on the New Age movement as well. But are these New Age practices actually satanic? Well, you don't have to take my word for it. Here's a quote from Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan. He says, quote, "In the scores of books lining the shelves of New Age bookstores, there are instructions for guided meditations, creative visualizations, out-of-body experiences, getting in touch with your spirit guides, fortune telling by cards, crystal balls, or the stars. What if Satanists reclaimed these for their own dark purposes and integrated them into rituals dedicated to the devil where they rightfully belong? New Agers have freely drawn all manner of satanic material, adapting it to their own hypocritical purpose. But in truth, all New Age labeling is, again, trying to play the devil's game without using his infernal name." End quote. And this is why I personally believe things like the law of attraction are so dangerous, because they can send you down this rabbit hole of beliefs. Now, why this is so dangerous is because not only do you start equating your spirituality with just feelings, but you start living your whole entire life by just feelings. And Megan Fox proves this point right here when she talks about her and Machine Gun Kelly being twin flames.
I think Pam and Tommy were twin flames. I think that they were soulmates. Kurt and Courtney is a darker version of the same thing. So I think when you find people that come together, that whose souls have known each other, who have like traveled here to do this again, there's something undeniable about that. And again, it can provoke a positive feeling in you, or provoke a very negative feeling, because it is a mirror of what you don't have or think that you don't want. I just think that it's hard to ignore that kind of a connection and that kind of love, regardless of if you find it toxic or not. That's irrelevant.
So she says a lot in that, but she speaks about you guys traveling here to do this again, meaning you were together in a past life, and now here you are again in this life, experiencing the same kind of love with each other, and it doesn't matter if it's toxic or not. Can you see how this way of thinking can be extremely detrimental to somebody's life? To just be with somebody, even if it's toxic because they're your twin flame, that's insane. Absolutely insane. Guys, there are so many people addicted to spiritual heroin, believing this nonsense and going down these rabbit holes that may not eventually lead you to drinking each other's blood, but it leads you to emptiness. It leads you to accept things that should not be accepted, like toxic relationships and drinking each other's blood, all because you're trying to fill this spiritual hole that's in your heart. That eternal hole that's in your heart cannot be filled with anything but God. So in conclusion, my heart goes out to Megan Fox, Machine Gun Kelly, and anyone who finds themselves addicted to spiritual heroin. And these two have gone so far down the rabbit hole that they are now openly discussing satanic blood rituals. So anyway, guys, let's keep them in our prayers. Make sure you hit that like button. It like shoots little confetti out and everything. Trust me, it happens. And if you want to learn more about this subject, definitely pre-order my book, The Secret, A Gateway Drug to Spiritual Heroin. It is currently in the editing process right now, but what I'm actually going to do for the first 100 people who buy it is sign it and mail it out myself. So thank you to everyone who's already pre-ordered the book. Thank you to everyone who watched this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for watching this video. Did you know that for every like that I get on this video, another person quits their Law of Attraction certification course? So go ahead, smash that like button for me, and check out some of these videos.